Welcome to Safety Talk. Personal safety expert Pete Canavan shares his insights and interviews experts who provide simple and effective tips, techniques, and technologies to keep you safe and secure both online and off. Here's Pete.
It looks like we have our guest on from Sension, and I think he's muted. Let me unmute. I believe you should be good to go there. Mr. Evan Hicks, are you with me?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, sir? Great that you're able to come on board with us today. So we had a little mix-up with the time zones, East Coast, West Coast. You're out on the West Coast, and I'm out here in the East. So fantastic to have you with us today.
Absolutely. I'm joining you as well, Neil Haley, the co-host of Safety Talk most of the time. But as our live day, we're all live all day long. So we appreciate you coming on for sure. And I'll be chiming in and out throughout the interview.
Yes. So we have, this is a real special day for us. So that's why I really was like, you know what, if you can get on at all, this would be great for you, because we're going to be doing ridiculous promotion for this and rebroadcasting of this live stream. We're doing basically all day, 24 hours. And this is going to, be something that is celebrating our 10-year anniversary in radio, Neil's 10-year anniversary in radio, the 10-year anniversary of VIP Internet Radio, which is, as you can see behind me here, reaching out to the stars. This is all about not very important people, but very influential people, such as yourself, that have products and solutions that on my show and podcast, Safety Talk, which is what we're going to chop this segment out and be utilizing for you. And you'll be getting links to this and social media imagery and whatnot for that. But this is going to be really incredible. So, Evan, I had come across Sension at ISC East back at the Javits Center a few weeks ago. So thanks for coming on. A lot of the companies there were very interested when I told them about my show and the network. So why don't we start off by you telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved, and then what Sension is all about.
Well, first of all, thanks for the opportunity to come on. My name is Evan Hicks. I've been with Sension now for 3 years, and I have a background. I've worked in public safety, executive protection, and event security. So coming into Sension was a pretty cool step, coming into the device side of it, not the people side of it.
Yeah, very cool. Thanks for your service, bud. It's a tough job sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. It was a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
So Sension is an intelligent cabinet access control system. So what our team here has done is we've taken the building level technology that's used to get in and out of entryways and brought it down to the cabinet level. So that way you can use it to be able to track who's coming in, who's opening what, how long they had it open for. It really adds an extra layer of security, the extra peace of mind that you need.
I'm sharing out your website right now, so people should be able to see that in a second.
Okay, yeah, I see it on the screen here.
Yep, there's the company.
Yep, we recently launched Sension Plus. It's our system that comes with audit trail software, which you can download. You can see who's been opening what. It's great for forensic analysis and even merchandising practices. We're finding that our retail customers are using it to better position their products that they want to be seen better. Oh,
interesting. Retail, yeah, so you can see the markets that you guys serve here. Healthcare and retail, obviously, like jewelry, where you really need to secure. So essentially, for those of you that just kind of get that high level overview, Sension has these locks that can be unlocked using like keycard access. So what really caught my eye, being somebody who's very interested in obviously safety and security and products and always looking at these different solutions and technologies, was in terms of the college market. You have college students that need to lock up their valuables. A lot of times the parents and the students that's the furthest thing from their mind when they're getting ready to send their kid off to school, right? What are they thinking about? They're like, oh, we got to get him a new desk. We got to get him a new chair. Oh, he's going to need a new laptop. He's going to need a new television, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're not thinking about how are we going to secure all of this stuff, right? How are we going to protect it? And so this is a lock that they could use like their swipe card for the college as the electronic key to unlock a locked cabinet in their room, for example, correct?
Correct. So our locks, they install seamlessly into any design. So what we can do is allow you to install these into a nightstand or a desk. So when the bad guys come in, they may not necessarily know where to look, because when the bad guy comes in, they're probably looking for a safe or something that looks like it has something valuable secured. Whereas they may not necessarily look in a nightstand or a small desk drawer where you're keeping your valuables.
Right. One of the things that it blew my mind was when I was at the show, and I just pulled up on the screen here one that was very similar to what you had at the show, might even been the same model or style, was this cabinet here where you don't see any visible hardware that even tells you it's a drawer. And all you do is, like you could see in this picture from your website, this is obviously in a jewelry store, and there is jewelry inside this cabinet. Well, if somebody was looking to, maybe try to steal something, they can't even tell how the heck to open the drawer to get into it. But the person who does know, they use their little access card, they hold it close to where the sensor is, it frees the lock unlocks, and boom, then the drawer is able to be opened and to get into it. So I thought that was really cool that you had these drawers that you didn't even know were drawers because there's no visible handles or anything on the outside.
Exactly. So that helps for when the bad guys come in. They have maybe three to 5 minutes to get what they're coming to get, and if they don't want to spend that time looking for entry points, so if they don't break the glass, then they can't get in.
Exactly. So that's, here's another picture here. The other thing that was interesting was the representative, when we were talking, was about how strong these locks are. 250 pounds of force to break it open, which is a lot of force when you think about, most drawer locks take, you would know this, maybe 40, 50 pounds of pressure to break something like that?
So a standard cam lock is about 65 pounds.
65 pounds. Okay. So, you're talking about something that's 4 times stronger roughly than a standard lock on a cabinet.
Right. So you definitely would need a crowbar or some other tool, some high strength tool to break into a cabinet.
That's great.
And that strength comes from being built on Accurite drawer slides. So we're a division of Accurite International, which is a world-renowned drawer slide manufacturer. And since we built the locks on these slides, the metal on metal contact creates that extra force that we need to keep the drawers and doors secure.
Okay. So you can use it in all kinds of things. As I see, as we're talking here, I'm bouncing through different pages on your site. That way people have an idea here. So, you can put it on hinged cabinets, sliding doors, cabinet drawers, drawers that open 2 different directions, because your devices can be retrofitted to all kinds of existing hardware. So if somebody, has a nice, maybe custom wood desk in their office or something like that, but they want to secure it, they could have basically your device retrofitted, and it could be used in existing, either custom built hardware or, something that they're going to buy off the shelf at like a Lowe's or a Staples or a, what's the other one out there? IKEA, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing about our locks being so low profile, is that they're easy to retrofit into just about any design.
That's really great. So you have all these different, industries that the company can assist. We obviously have a lot of people that watch the show and that'll be listening to this live that, either work for a company, own a company, or they're just in different industries. And so you have healthcare. So I'm assuming, obviously keeping, things secure, like, drugs or needles or patient records and all that kind of stuff. Anywhere you need like HIPAA compliance, where things have to be under lock and key all the time, it's a fantastic way to secure it, because if you've got a key card or a badge where you're swiping, to get access into the building, I'm assuming then that each individual's key card can be configured to be only able to open, for example, certain locked cabinets within, say, a pharmacy or something like that?
Correct. So the beautiful thing about our locks is they can also act agnostically, meaning that they don't necessarily have to use our hub and readers. You can use your own components and tie it into your existing building access system, so that you have Syncion locks will just integrate into your existing security systems.
Okay.
And that allows you to take that one badge that you already have and use it on your door, to the drawer, to whatever you're trying to access.
Now, I have a question. What types of things can you integrate your solution to in a physical security environment?
We tested it with Linnell, S2, Andover, basically anything with a Mercury board our systems can tie into.
Have you ever, with video management software, do you integrate with any video management softwares?
Video management, we're still testing it, but we have a solution where we have it so you can tie our Syncion Plus system, you tie it into a camera. So when the alarm is tripped, so if there's a subversion attempt, if the door or drawer opens without a proper credential being shown, then it'll trip a camera to start recording what's going on.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
So you're in the camera, but definitely look at video management software as a way, especially with a lot of them doing that, to not make it so that it doesn't matter what camera you can integrate through that type of solution. But yeah, it's great.
A really neat product. And, I pulled up the Syncion Plus part of your website here. And so even like things that require a dual authentication. So if you've got something locked in and you do not want to allow a single person access to that, your system allows for a dual authentication, so that you got to have two matching cards to unlock a certain area, which is fantastic in a place like in a financial institution or healthcare, really anywhere that real sensitive information needs to be tightly controlled, which is, I think, a great feature. That's something that I didn't know until just now.
Right. So a few months ago, we did a piece with a veterinary doctor, Dr. Andy Rourke. He sees Syncion's dual authentication as a great tool to use in his office, because a lot of veterinarians suffer from extreme depression. And
really?
As a result, they use the euthanasia drugs to commit suicide.
Wow.
So our locks can serve as a way to prevent that, since you have to have two-factor authentication. If not one person can access, then it can lower the chances of that person getting in and getting those potentially lethal drugs.
That's fantastic. I had never even known about anything like that, but what a great solution that you can use something like this to actually protect people and save lives directly through the use of that authentication, the dual authentication. Wow, that's really neat, Evan. That's cool, because hey, anything that can protect people or save a life, I mean, that's what we're all about on Safety Talk, and that's awesome. So what's the let's look at some of these other factors here. So discrete access. So how does that work?
So discrete access, Syncion Plus has 4 channels. So you can program different openings to the various channels, however you want to set it up. And you can set it so that one person has access to channel 1, another person has access to channel 2, and then one person can have access to all the channels. And this works well in a retail setting where you say you have high value items that only managers can access, and then other items that only sales associates can access.
Right.
And you don't necessarily have to call a manager over to get the low value items, so you can just program it so that you can just streamline it so the salesperson can grab what they need when they need it rather than having to wait.
Which, I mean, hey, time is money, right? So if these people can do what their jobs and not have to be constantly calling over, I need a manager. Now you got to wait for them to finish what they're doing, come over to you, deal with it, then go back to what they were doing. And now they're thinking, okay, now where was I before I just got called away? I mean, that happens constantly in various situations where people have to be called in to do an override or something like you're talking about. So again, another fantastic feature of the product that is a time saver. And that's big, especially, right? Getting into the holiday season here, the last thing managers are going to want to be doing is running around, unlocking high value merchandise when, people are buying, whatever it is, the latest, computer games or equipment or, any of these high value items that require an override. They can do things so much easier. So that's awesome. Now, reporting, obviously, this is a big one because when a manager or a business owner is looking to find out, hey, how's this technology being used, and how do I know that the right people are actually doing what we're doing? To Neil's point earlier, you're looking at like a video management where you can look at the video footage of people doing things and then sort of correlate it with the logs of access, right? You could look at your video timeline and then look at your Sension audit log and say, hey, does this match up? So, or was it just somebody that said, hey, use my key to go unlock that, right?
Exactly.
So let's talk about that audit trail and reporting for a minute there.
So with the audit trail software,
that's a brand new feature, right? That's a brand new feature, it looks like.
Brand spanking new. So audit trail is controlled. There's a controller in the back of the cabinet that's recording all the transactions, or all the events that happen. So when it's open, how long it's open, and when it's closed, and who opened it. So it's recording all that and records up to, I believe, 50,000 transactions.
Oh, that's a busy day if it's filling up.
Right. So with that, you can go back and if you have an incident, you can go and see, okay, this person opened this cabinet this many times, this person's not opening this. So in that sense, it's like a productivity tool as well. You can see, okay, why isn't this person opening this? Why are they opening this cabinet instead?
Right.
And then also, when you think financial and healthcare spaces, you have this tool where you can use it for compliance reasons because there's a lot of federal regulations in those spaces.
Yes.
So you can use it to say, okay, we have these logs that we're tracking to make sure that these records aren't being accessed, these medicines are secured, these assets are secured. And
these are the records of when they actually were accessed them, who accessed them, how long, et cetera. That's fantastic, especially like you said, I mean, in highly and tightly regulated industries like finance and healthcare, insurance. That's got to be something that people who do those audits are going to absolutely love when a client can come to them and say, oh yeah, we use Sension secure access technology to secure all of the sensitive information. The system has these audit trails and reports. What do you want to know? And they can go in and they can pull up that report, print it out, email it to them, whatever, and bam, and then it's right there for them. So that's another, again, huge time saver and something that really zeroes in on the accountability behind the access.
Exactly.
So easy configuration. So it says it's easy to configure. So I know some people, a lot of people's, obviously the next question is going to be, all right, this is a great technology. I can see where I might be able to utilize this in my business. I like what I'm hearing. In terms of how hard is it for me to, go and retrofit, the 27 cabinets in my financial firm, for example. I'm not asking for a number on that. I'm just saying, how hard is it? How easy is it? If you could maybe explain that a little bit, because it says it's easy. So how easy, Evan?
So it's really easy. It's pretty much as easy as programming your phone. So the system comes with its own handheld programmer, and you just plug it into your cabinet. There's a magnetic connector that connects to the components of the system, and you can go on there and you just add users through the handheld. So you just scan the user card, and then you can add them that way. And you can also delete users. So if somebody leaves for some reason or loses a card, you can go in the handheld programmer and delete the user without having to have the card present.
Oh, okay. And
you
then
don't
you
have
can,
to.
I'm assuming then you can also deactivate the card. So like I'm using the card, all of a sudden one day, I take something out of my wallet. I don't realize the card falls on the ground, when I'm shopping, whatever. I go into work and I go, oh my God, I don't know where my card is. You can go in and say, no problem, Pete. Pete had this card. It's now deactivated. Reissue me a new card, and spank me and tell me don't do it again. Right?
Exactly. Exactly. So it's a real time saver. And what we found at ISE East was a lot of locksmiths came by the booth and they were very interested because it saves them a lot of time. They don't have to go out and replace a lot of cabinet locks. It's just a matter of showing their customers how to reprogram it to show them how to program using the handheld, and then their job is pretty much done.
Wow. They may not have to get called back as much. They may not be too happy about.
Right.
But
well, that's the thing. They can call us. So we make it a point to provide top-notch customer service. So at any time, the end user could call us and we can help them troubleshoot anything they have.
Oh, that's great. So in the event that they can't get a hold of the person who actually installed it initially, that can work. Do you guys, somebody might have a concern. It could be viewed as a concern. It could be viewed maybe as a feature. But my IT brain wheels are spinning here. When you have a customer, let's say they have some sort of problem or breach on their network, okay, and data becomes corrupted. Is there some way to sort of reset the systems or clear the locks to regain control after some sort of maybe cyber attack or breach?
Well, if you have it connected to your system, to your access control system, then the locks will just reset as you reset the system. So they'll act accordingly. But one key feature about them is that they are fail secure. So if you have a power outage or a breach or something, the locks will remain in the position that they were in when the breach happened.
Okay.
So if the door or drawer is locked at the time, then it will remain locked until power is restored or the input is saying to unlock. Is
there any way to sort of trick the lock? I know sometimes, like even with like the most basic, and I'm not saying your system is like this, it's probably definitely not, but even like now, like you can use like a real powerful magnet, for example, to trick a lock into activating, because if it's a magnetic lock, you take a big magnet, you put it on there, boom, it triggers a magnetic lock, you open the door. What sort of safeguards are in place so that it makes it difficult for something like that to happen? Is it a non-magnetic? Because I think when you were at the show and you were showing me, it's all basically servo controlled, right?
Right, and our locks are not magnetic; they're electromechanical. And the way we build them, since they're built on the drawer slides, they're mounted at the rear of the cabinet most of the time.
Okay.
So you can't.
So if it's against the wall, you can't even get to it.
Exactly. So you can't walk up with a magnet and get it open, or you can't like stick a screwdriver through the crevice and get it open. You have to really know where to attack to get to the lock.
Now, which customers do you feel, we talked about the healthcare industry and different things, that the pain points that you're suffering, that they suffer by utilizing this device, the security device, what pain points do you think you're able to help your customers the most, in your opinion?
Well, in the healthcare space, healthcare retail across the board, it streamlines operations. It allows you to gain access to the valuables you're looking to secure faster. So it's just a tap of a card and you have instant access to the contents you're trying to access. And
there are a lot of clients in that healthcare space. I mean, like you show on your site, I mean, not just hospitals, but, clinics and, long-term care facilities and, any sort of healthcare administration is a potential customer.
Right. And you got pharmacies, like I said, veterinary clinics, all across the board. There's just healthcare is a big space for us. And retail as well. I mean, you got retail, you have people looking to streamline operations, but also maintain that design aesthetic, because with the online shopping world becoming so big, it's vital that retail stores really create an experience in their store. And they don't want to tarnish that experience with bulky locks or big keypads. The Sension allows them to maintain their brand aesthetic without punching keyholes or even slowing down the process of being in the store.
Yeah, like I love the picture you have on the site, because as you're talking, I'm bouncing through your different markets on the website here, and like just this picture is awesome because it shows an associate using the swipe to be basically going under the cabinet. So you have the beautiful aesthetics of this jewelry store and the furniture and the glass and this nice look, and there are no big bulky locks, as you're saying, like to really take away from the aesthetics of the environment or to take away from how the design is, because if you had to retrofit something and it requires putting some sort of big bulky lock on the side or just something that's ugly that doesn't match the decor, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a big, blue lock on the outside of this nice walnut cabinet. I mean, it's going to look terrible, right? So I think that's very important for obviously for the retail space and the high-end retail space. But really for anybody, I mean, if you've got existing furniture, you don't want to, make it look different or have something detract from the beauty of the actual of the furniture, whether it's a cabinet or a desk or whatever.
Exactly. We want to make sure that our customers are able to maintain that aesthetic, and that's why we designed the system to be completely hidden within any application that's installed in.
Yeah, you're going to have some funny blooper videos that customers send in where, thieves are going to be caught on video, like trying frantically to open up doors and be like, why won't this open? I don't see a lock.
Exactly. And like with our touch release and auto open features, as you mentioned earlier, you don't even have to put a handle on the front. You can just have it just bare front, so you may not even know there's an opening there.
That was the coolest thing that you showed me at ISC East was that. When I'm like, oh my God, that's a drawer I didn't even know. Because that's the other thing. Like somebody's going to be looking like, okay, how do I even access to get into something? But if they don't even know it is something to access, like it's a drawer that's hidden underneath a cabinet, they won't even know it's a drawer there. And that's where you had that one device. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know that was a drawer there. And so there you could be hiding whatever sort of valuable, if it's in a home, maybe you could be hiding a firearm there, keeping it safe and secure from your kids or from an intruder. So there's all kinds of applications that when I saw the product that I started to think about, like, wow, there's a lot. And now, talking with you today, being able to continue that conversation and take a deeper look, because I did take a quick look at the website, before we came on. But now going through it and talking with you, it's really, really neat. What is the, it says that Sension has this undetectable RFID security system. What makes the radio frequency ID undetectable on this product?
So when we talk about undetectable, we mean because you can't see it. So you may not necessarily know the reader is even there. The reader is mounted, can be mounted subsurface. Okay. Underneath 1 inch of material. So you don't necessarily need to have the reader out on the front so everybody knows that something is locked up there.
So it's not that the RFID frequency is undetectable. It's the fact that you don't even know it's there that makes it undetectable.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Now, residential, I mean, I briefly alluded to, residential use, to keep things safe and secure, whether it's, a firearm at your bedstand or, maybe sensitive documentation, or, you've got this photo here showing, passport and jewelry and watches and keys. Where are you guys? Yeah, in fact, there it is, firearm storage. So that, how big of a market are you starting to see in the residential space? Is it pretty much the technology is affordable enough that just about anybody can do it? Or is it so expensive that only people with, higher incomes and higher, levels of, homes, I guess you could say, can afford it? How affordable is the technology?
Well, it just depends on how valuable security is to you in your home. We have a customer who has like a lot of different sports collectibles and antiques he wants to protect, like books and guns. Mm-hmm. So security is very valuable to him, and he has cameras all through his house. His house is pretty fortified. And then we have customers who also use it for firearm storage, whether it be in a wall or a mirror unit or in a nightstand. We've seen customers use our locks in a variety of applications in storing their firearms. And then you have the medicine cabinets. I mean, with the opioid crisis, it's pretty crucial that securing medicine is pretty valuable nowadays. So we've seen a lot of that lately.
Yeah, and that's key because it's very interesting that a lot of the I guess you call it black market medicine, or the medicine that makes its way into the wrong hands, actually is coming from home medicine cabinets. The kids are going in there and they're taking some of the pills that that is in there for another family member, and then they're going to their job or going to school and selling those pills to somebody. So having a way to secure that, and again, it helps the opioid crisis to a certain extent by securing medication in the home. It's why limit it to just a commercial use, right? To a hospital or a clinic or something like that. Secure that medicine in your home. It's just as dangerous to somebody potentially as a firearm.
Exactly. It's equally as dangerous, and it can get into the wrong hands, and it could really be an unfortunate ending. So Syncion really comes in key there in the home.
Are you also in the industrial space in terms of securing like hazardous materials? I just saw something on here and made me think about it. I would say that's probably another market, right?
Right. So within the different markets that we have listed, we've secured different hazardous materials. So healthcare, you have different medicines and different chemicals that you need secured. And then you have the finance space. I mean, this is all over the place. There's hazardous materials that we can secure with our fixtures.
Sure. I mean, look at, like, you go to a quarry, right? They need to secure the explosives, something like that. So, I mean, yeah, that's, the applications are so wide, and at this point in time, I mean, they're so needed that a product like this that allows you to have a solution to secure whatever it is that you need to, and be able to retrofit it to your existing furniture, your existing cabinetry, et cetera, is just a really, really cool, solution for a lot of industries, as we're seeing. So what else can you tell us about, so we have financial institutions, obviously, they're keeping their cash safe and anything else. Compliance. So with I'm assuming now with this new feature being able to have the audit control and reporting on the access to whatever it is that's being secured, being able to be reported on, how does that help with compliance? Is there a certain way that you've got to sort of present the data, or is it just the fact of the matter that it's being tracked, that then now you can turn it over and say, here, this is why we're compliant, because we're proving that the access to whatever it is being controlled and tracked?
Exactly right. So you can go to whatever organization, whether it be HIPAA, Joint Commission, anybody that you can say, okay, we have the surveillance footage, we have the log of who entered the building, but we also have it all the way down to the cabinet level. So we really, you can show we're on top of this. We know who accessed this and when they accessed it and how long they had it open for.
Yeah, tying this into an access control system, which is the same, somebody being able to use the same card they use to swipe in to come in the building, and also be able to secure everything that they have with the same card. That's really, really cool. It lowers the barrier of entry cost for a lot of institutions, whether it's an educational institution or financial or healthcare or whatever, because they've already made the investment in the technology that's providing the access control. And now it's like, okay, now let's show you how we can take it to the next level to the lowest level that you need to secure whatever it is that your business has and tie it in with everything. So that's fantastic. And people can go to your website. They can download the white paper. I see you got a free white paper there to learn more about the technology that I'm sure you would recommend anybody go to learn more about the technology and how it can help their business and their industry, right?
Right. And on our market pages, we have even more white papers that you can download. So there's this one, there's one on the retail page, there's one on the healthcare page.
Oh, each one is different. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, fantastic. I'm glad you said that. I didn't know if it was just the one white paper for all of them. So depending on the market that's looking, go to your appropriate page and then get the white paper for that industry, or heck, get them all, right? And learn more about how it can serve all the different industries.
Exactly.
This is definitely a great product, and I wish I would have known about the guest. This is impromptu for us because I would have been not on the air at this time, but great product. Always great to connect with different people in the security industry, especially the physical security industry. Will you be at ISC West, by the way, Evan?
Yes, we will.
Oh, we're going to connect. I will be at ISC West, so I hope to see you there. And you know, I could see your product in play firsthand right there at the at ISC West. So
yeah, it really caught my eye, Neil, when I was there because you know, what I was doing was I was perusing around, and you know, we didn't have time to do a video there. I did some video interviews with some other companies there, but you know, I offered a lot of them, like yourself, Evan, you know, the chance to come on and talk about the product because this is something that I don't think a lot of people know about. You know, how long has the company been around? There's a good question. How long has Sension been around? You said it's a division of another company?
Right. So AccuRide has been around for over 6 years now, but Sension is about 5 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's a pretty new company with cutting edge technology.
Yes.
Right. So I'm on the About Sension page right there now. So yes, talks about innovation of AccuRide International.
Yep. So we, like I said, we use AccuRide drawer slides to to secure the different drawer openings that we get, and we also have the standalone lock option. But either way, we use that innovation. We use our knowledge of cabinet hardware to build this system.
Yeah, because it's you know, AccuRide's been around for 50 years, so they know how to make some some good hardware, and you know, being able to develop it in conjunction with proven you know, technology that AccuRide has just makes it that much you know, a better solution. Would somebody have to replace, for example, the slides in the drawer that they want to secure with the AccuRide slides?
No, not necessarily. So one of the benefits is that the standalone lock can be mounted into any drawer. So
okay.
you don't have to replace the slides if you don't want to. Like if you already have slides and you don't want to go through the whole wrestling them out and drilling new holes inside the cabinet, you don't have to. You can just install the locks. They mount on the roof on the ceiling of the cabinet, bottom, the wall, the back, whatever you need.
That's awesome. So yeah, so we I just clicked on your events tab. Yes, Neil, there they are. ISC West 2020, even got their booth there. So anybody that's going to be going to ISC West in Las Vegas in March can see them firsthand. Of course, you can always go to their website and get information. I'm assuming you guys are also on social media. Let's see, you're going to also be at the International Association for Healthcare Safety and Security. So there you go.
Yep.
And Phoenix.
Someone will be there from I won't be that one. I wish it could.
Neil, they're going to be in Pittsburgh.
Really? Wow.
NRF Protect in June. You don't even have to go to Vegas. Just see them there in June in Pittsburgh.
That's cool. So who's attending? What is that for? That's for retail loss and cyber risk event. Okay.
Yeah, so NRF Protect is National Retail Federation's Loss Prevention Conference. We last year was our first year exhibiting, and we really liked it, so we want to go back next year.
That's awesome. Yeah, you'd be in Atlanta. So yeah, you're that's great, man. Hey, you got to get out there. That's how people, you know, find out about it, and then, you know, having the ability to make use of things like this, being interviewed and getting some social media and some online media exposure just helps, because, if we can help you drive some traffic and some exposure for people that are watching this live, as well as who are going to watch it recorded, plus through the podcast and the networks. I mean, by you coming on today, you're going to get some crazy media exposure in addition to what normally I give. So that's good news for you guys.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. So partners. So if somebody's interested in partnering with you, they can get a hold of you or somebody else at Sension, because they can become integrators or installers or just resellers, or I guess all the above.
Yep. So we're looking system integrators, installers, resellers. We're looking to expand our network, because we realize more our demand is growing, and we want to make sure we have the boots on the ground to fulfill the needs of the growing market. So we're looking for integrators, installers, resellers to help us get our product out there and also provide service if needed.
Sure, because hey, you got to have that component, and you can't be everywhere at once. So as you put it, I mean, it's perfect. You need the boots on the ground, the people that are involved, and that's one thing I mentioned to you is, with my being out in front of various organizations and campuses, to be able to just simply direct them to get more information about something that might help them, whether whatever market that happens to be. Is a good thing. So, people are interested that are listening that are already some sort of security integrator, and you're looking to expand into a completely revolutionary and very interesting niche, to be able to retrofit existing cabinetry with high-end, very seamless as well as aesthetic security for different things. It's a beautiful solution, and I think you guys are doing a fantastic job with it. So kudos to Sension and you.
Thank you.
It's a neat product. Specifications. I'll say you got some extra. If somebody is a real technology person, they want to learn even more about the specifics. I see you got your architectural specifications right on the website. So if they really want to get a deep dive into what is actually behind the actual technology and how things work, how things are, I mean, look at this, materials, installation, adjusting, all kinds of stuff. This is, you've got a treasure trove of information that explains those specifications. You've got information on your patents and the innovative technology, both U.S. and foreign patents, it looks like here. So,
Yep.
And then, of course, they can, join your newsletter and stay up to date on the latest innovations and things that you guys are doing, like this new, audit reporting, for example, which is a brand spanking new feature here. So you'll have to be adding us to adding your interview here to your newsroom, right?
Definitely be adding that soon.
Yeah, so that's really good here. So we got a few minutes before we'll bounce to our next segment. The anything that you would like to sort of talk about here in our last 5 or 10 minutes about the product, the solutions, or anything else that maybe we didn't cover here?
So you can. One thing we're also doing is we try our best to stay abreast of all the latest trends in the different markets we serve, as we've seen during this show, and we show that in our blogs. So our monthly blogs, we go through and we try and find what's trending, what's going on in these different industries, so that way we can help our customers stay abreast as well.
Yeah, see it right there. I just bounced on over to it so people can see that. Healthcare, retail, finance, residential, and then the technology itself. So depending on whatever market someone is in, they can go right to your blog, go right to, for example, if they're interested in the finance market, and they'll be able to find out information specific to that market, which is fantastic. Then people don't have to go wade through a bunch of other stuff, which it looks like you guys are very active here. You got a lot of information posted, and reasons, look at this, how to identify vulnerabilities in financial offices. I mean, look at that. That's a fantastic, I'm sure, article that would allow people to just read that and say, wow, I never thought about that as being a place that I needed to secure. But after reading, an article specific to their industry and how your solution can help secure it, boom, sign them up, right?
Exactly. We're looking to educate our customers as we get educated. We're looking to just share this knowledge, continue this knowledge share, and make sure that we're all on the same page going forward.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, Evan. So, yeah, I appreciate you coming on. And, we'll be, like I said, this will be running as we do the rebroadcast of this, because we're live on Facebook at the same time as we're doing this. And we are, as I said, this will also be cut out as a Safety Talk segment as well. And Neil, you got anything you wanted to comment on before I let Evan?
I just think I look forward to showing, to talk to him about specifically integrations and stuff like that. I'm always interested in learning those specific things. And it's just another solution that's out there to stop from, fraud and stealing and such a situation that's happening in our world today. Ways to protect is such an important thing, and you guys are definitely doing a great job.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be in touch with you soon, Evan, and feel free to pop on and off throughout the day on the Facebook Live feed if you want. We're going to be doing some other interviews throughout the day. Neil's got some cool guests lined up. We are, as I mentioned, celebrating the 10-year anniversary of VIP Internet Radio, which is the online radio station that myself and Neil and our partner Don up in Canada are partners in. And, it started about 10 years ago, and today's actually Neil's 10-year anniversary of his first interview. And so, Neil, I didn't even need to say congratulations to you there, buddy, but congrats on that.
Hey, that's fine. We don't have to. I mean, like I said, my head's spinning right now just to prepare. So, like, we have Phil Bork on at 1. We have a person talking about Microwave Day at 1:30, 2 p.m. Eastern. We have Duke the Dumpster Drosy, former WWE star, and 3 o'clock, Packers author, and we're going to talk about Murderous Trance at 3:30, and then so it's just a crazy 1 through 4 hours of interviews and different things. So I'm trying to just getting rested and up to be ready to really get my game face on for 3 straight hours, and then going live again tonight at 10 p.m. So.
Yeah, tell me about it. I need my Z's, man. I went to bed at 3 o'clock this morning after doing the first initial test and getting it all working. Back up at 7:30, and it's going to be a long day today. So, man, I am sleeping in tomorrow. So, all right, awesome, Evan. So, if anybody's interested in learning more about Mr. Evan Hicks and his technology company that he works with, Sension Secure, you can go to Sension's website is Sension, SENSEONSECURE.com, SensionSecure.com. And you can learn more about his technology, sign up and grab some of the white papers on the various market-specific solutions that they have, as well as sign up for their newsletter and stay abreast of the latest happenings there, as well as their blog. So a lot of great information out there. Great way to secure valuables and drugs and firearms and documents and everything and anything you can think of by retrofitting what you have, using their technology to keep the aesthetics of what you currently have there, and allowing it to be as secure as possible. So fantastic stuff. And Evan, look forward to speaking with you more in the near future, bud.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, and congratulations.
Thanks.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Bye-bye.